Jay-Z, you're no different from Diddy. I can't stand what I see as your arrogant and condescending attitude. Nicki posted a video of you wearing a pink wig, and I reposted it. That was it. You earned the criticism. Everyone knows we've had issues for years. This feud has been going on for more than 2 decades, and during that time I've watched what I believe are manipulative moves throughout the industry, from power struggles to influence behind the scenes. Back in 2015, when Tidal launched, Nicki helped build that platform from the ground up. Then came accusations that millions in royalties were withheld. Questions were raised about artists being pushed aside, including claims that personal grudges affected major opportunities. To critics, it looked no different from the unfair treatment that artists have complained about for years. The argument is simple. If someone doesn't fall in line, they're allegedly punished for it. The controversy deepens with claims about legal threats, warning letters, and attempts to shut down criticism. According to the accusations, there are still documents, witnesses, and unresolved disputes waiting to be revealed. Whether those claims hold weight or not, the message is clear. The battle is far from over. As the conversation expands, attention shifts from individual disputes to the music industry itself. The argument becomes broader, focusing on who truly controls success and which artists are allowed to rise. Stories emerge about record deals, regional favoritism, and a system that allegedly rewarded some while limiting others. The discussion points to an era when New York artists were receiving massive advances, while Southern artists were often given far less money but delivered enormous commercial success. From that perspective, some believe the industry had financial incentives to push certain regions forward while holding others back. The claim is that emerging East Coast artists faced obstacles that kept them from reaching their full potential. Names like 50 Cent, Cameron, and Beanie Sigel are brought into the conversation as examples of artists who allegedly faced resistance. Whether viewers agree with those claims or not, the allegations paint a picture of an industry where power and influence mattered as much as talent. The conversation then takes a lighter turn, with jokes about awards, public perception, and Jay-Z's transformation from rapper to businessman. Some argue that his image evolved dramatically over the years. Rather than being viewed primarily as a street figure, he became associated with entrepreneurship, family life, and corporate success. Others suggest that his relationship with Beyonce amplified that transformation even further. The debate becomes less about music and more about branding, reputation, and how the public chooses to view influential figures. What starts as humor quickly turns into a discussion about perception versus reality. From there, attention returns to more serious accusations. Critics point to Jay-Z's long association with Diddy and question whether proximity to controversial figures should raise concerns. References are made to lawsuits, public denials, and allegations that have circulated in recent years. The speakers stop short of making definitive conclusions, but they repeatedly raise questions about what people knew, when they knew it, and how much responsibility comes with being closely connected to powerful individuals. The uncertainty surrounding those questions becomes one of the most debated parts of the conversation. Eventually, the tone shifts once again, mixing humor with serious topics. The speakers joke about public scrutiny and how difficult it can be to avoid accusations once someone becomes famous. Beneath the laughter, however, is a discussion about responsibility, evidence, and the consequences of making claims without proof. One speaker argues that if people genuinely care about someone, concern should be followed by action rather than public commentary. According to that perspective, it's easy to criticize from a distance, but real support requires more than words. The conversation becomes a debate about accountability and what it truly means to help someone. That leads into a broader discussion about the NFL, fame, and ownership. One speaker explains that performing on a major stage was never the goal. Instead, the focus was on ownership, independence, and creating opportunities rather than seeking validation from powerful institutions. The argument centers on the idea that success should be measured by self-determination rather than approval from organizations or industries that have historically held the power. For some, acceptance by those institutions represents achievement. For others, true success comes from controlling your own path. The discussion then turns towards social media and celebrity culture. Recent headlines, online reactions, and viral moments become the focus. Participants joke about how quickly public opinion changes, and how easily narratives can shift when allegations emerge. While much of the exchange is humorous, there's an underlying observation about modern celebrity life. Public figures often find themselves judged not only by facts but also by headlines, trends, and speculation. In that environment, reputations can change overnight. From there, the speakers move into a conversation about accusations and relationships. They discuss how past experiences can be reinterpreted years later and whether old interactions should be viewed differently through the lens of present-day circumstances. The debate explores difficult questions. Can someone's memories change over time? Can disappointment or resentment influence how events are remembered? And how should the public evaluate claims that surface decades after the fact? The speakers don't offer definitive answers, but they acknowledge the complexity of those issues. Attention then shifts toward legal realities. Questions arise about statutes of limitations, criminal proceedings, and the difference between legal standards and public opinion. The speakers note that many people confuse civil claims with criminal cases, creating misunderstandings about what can and cannot be pursued through the courts. The timing of allegations becomes another major topic. Why do certain accusations emerge when they do? Why do some stories remain hidden for years before becoming public? Those questions fuel further debate as the participants examine different explanations without reaching a final conclusion. As the conversation grows more intense, increasingly dramatic theories and allegations are introduced. Various public figures, past events, and long-standing rumors are woven together into a larger narrative that attempts to explain years of controversy and conflict. Whether viewed as speculation or revelation, these claims represent some of the most controversial moments in the discussion. They challenge established perceptions and encourage viewers to question stories they may have accepted for years. Near the end, the focus shifts to a personal story involving Jay-Z. One speaker recalls an encounter at a nightclub in Cancun while working the door. According to the story, Jay-Z arrived with more guests than the venue was prepared to admit. After being told only a limited number of people could enter, tensions began to rise. The situation escalated when instructions were allegedly given through an assistant rather than directly. The speaker interpreted that as disrespect and nearly confronted Jay-Z physically. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and others stepped in before the situation went any further. Looking back, the story serves as a reminder of how quickly misunderstandings can spiral. A brief exchange became a lasting memory, offering a rare glimpse into the difference between public image and personal experience. Throughout this discussion, accusations, industry politics, celebrity culture, legal controversies, and personal encounters all collide. Some viewers may see these stories as evidence of deeper issues, while others may view them as speculation fueled by long-standing rivalries. Either way, the conversation raises questions about power, influence, reputation, and how public narratives are shaped. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.
Saying, do you need anything? And anyone else that I've ever given, paid a bill, paid their rent, paid their college, any dollar, not one person, and I don't want them to, because they know I'm all right. But not one person has called and said, yo, could I send you something to help? But I don't need the help. But if you're going to talk about it, be about it. But to me, that's just a jab when you tell and promote a false narrative and say that I'm in such a bad place that another dude should help me, and that my tail's in between my legs to the extent, because of a lawsuit, that I would actually take that money. I'm a man. I don't want nobody to give me nothing but the opportunity to do what I got to do. And I don't.
What starts as lighthearted banter quickly evolves into a deeper conversation about public accusations, personal responsibility, and the consequences of making claims without evidence. The speaker defends himself against criticism while arguing that genuine concern should come with meaningful action, not just words. As the conversation unfolds, viewers witness a clash between perception and reality, with both sides attempting to define what accountability truly looks like in the public eye.
See no opportunity. I don't want to perform for the Super Bowl. I'm not all right with the NFL. I'm still mad it ain't no black owners. We went from kneeling to being happy when we could perform for them. That wasn't what I was about. I was about ownership of our own league and taking pride in that. I'm not a court jester for everybody else to get good ratings. I know what we're being used for, and I'm not cool with that. So it's a big deal is to jump on a stage for a bunch of white owners? No, that's embarrassing to me. It's a spectacle. They're laughing at us. Like being patted on the back by another culture is not how I judge my success. Only person that has the audacity to pat me on my back is my family. And they better, I'd be like, you better chill out. I don't want no pats on the back. I don't play that. I'm not in the patty pat club on no level.
I feel you. But speaking of the NFL, I know right now Nicki Minaj, she calling out Jay, and I know Colin Kaepernick's wife, she called out Jay, saying that, Jay did her husband wrong. But I don't know. I don't know the backstory behind that, man. But I know it's going, viral right now on social media. But I do want to ask you, how do you feel about the NFL right now, in general?
It's funny. She's cool. She's cool with my wife. Right?
Going separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop culture is with that shit.
So by you, you're good, bro. You're fucking good. You're protecting hip hop.
Yeah.
If you don't speak out and make them the weirdos, then they're gonna think everybody's
Every
like
single
that.
person is like that.